Hello, hello. On today's show, I'm going to talk about the new Last of Us show, as well as other maddening things. Mike thinks that the pop art community is despicable, and Patrick says the horizon holds even more McFarlane. Welcome to your favorite live streaming whatnotting podcast, Comics and Collectibles in the Crawl Space. As usual, I'll be your host, your fourth or fifth favorite podcaster, Kevin. And also, as usual, I have two amazing gentlemen with me today. I'll look like Patrick's first this week. You want to say hey, Patrick?
Good afternoon, everyone.
Nice. And of course, the amazing Michael.
Hey, everybody. What's up, guys?
Hey, what's up, man? Let me, how's everybody going? How's everybody doing?
Good.
Yeah, I'm going good.
How's everybody going? First thing I want to let everybody know, since we just got our first comment of the show. Karen is not here today to moderate, so we won't have that smooth moderator transition with stuff, which is actually what happened with the how's it going, whatever I missaid right there, because I realized, oh man, I got to put the banner up on myself because Karen isn't here. So hello, Karen. We missed you already.
Yep.
And then Mom's here too. Hey, Mom. All right. Hey, Mike, that background's pretty nuts.
It is. The book is even crazier.
I'd like to say I like it, but I expressed my views on that earlier. I don't like it. And I like it even less with all the craziness. What's up? What's up with that?
It's Jack White fans. They are insane. I've read a lot of comments, because the book right now, it's sitting, there. If you just go on eBay, you're looking at sales 45 to 60, but there's a bunch of them right now. There's one with bids over 70. They're all sitting in there with multiple bids, 15, 16 bids, $50, $60. It's crazy, but I see it as much craziness for people wanting it. There's so many people that agree with you saying, what's this? This is just trash. They don't see any reason for it and they just don't like it.
That's crazy.
Yep.
We were talking about how crazy it would have been if during our last profits, if someone would have won the profits and then picked that book, they would have gotten a $60 to $80 book. Quotation, because it really isn't that. Do you think it's going to hold?
I think it's gonna dip, and then I think it's gonna go back up again. And for the Jack White factor, because music is one of those things that just never goes away. So he's gonna be getting more and more fans as these kids age up into that, into listening to his music. So they're gonna, 10 years from now, there's going to be a new Jack White fan going, what? This book came out when? And they're going to go searching for it.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
What do you think, Patrick? Did you get one of these?
I did not, no.
You're going to have to pay the aftermarket prices.
Yeah,
then.
I guess so. I won't be doing that.
Yeah, I was going to say. Yeah,
you did pick this for one of the top three, though, didn't you?
Me?
Yeah.
No,
didn't you?
No.
Oh, you didn't? Oh, okay. Mike, did you say? Oh no, you said you had.
Yeah.
You didn't even pick it, right?
I
Mike?
didn't even pick it.
Right.
I think the only person. I think there was one vote for it. I think it was Cora.
Well, Cora apparently knows more than all the rest of us, because that was apparently the book to get.
I did order one copy for myself. Kicked myself for not ordering more, obviously. But yeah, I'm thinking because I can send it off and get it slabbed.
Right.
And I'll see it again next year when it comes back.
Yeah. All right. And then we also have no cover combat this week. We've
Right.
got, and in case you didn't know, but I guess you wanted to show what the new Cover Combat 3 logo looks like that will return next week.
Yep. And this was a great surprise. Patrick sent this to me over the weekend. He came up with this one.
Before you,
Before I what? It's gone. What?
I was just gonna say before you show it, I was gonna ask Pat, is it the? You said you had an idea in your head immediately. Was this?
Yeah,
is
I don't know why. It just popped
Gotcha.
into my head immediately.
Well, obviously
Right.
we've already seen it, so
Yeah.
let's do it again. Patrick, it's awesome, man. It's awesome.
Thanks.
Yep.
That is so good. You always outdo yourself.
And I added the date this time because I for some reason I found myself constantly trying to remember what the decade was. I don't know why. I was like, are we in the teens now? No. We're in the aughts or whatever you want to call it. Yeah. So I had the date.
You know, this is what a bad idea guy like me would think, and I'm going to express my bad idea right now. You basically can cheat your logo from this point on. Just use whatever Mortal Kombat 4s and whatever Mortal Kombat 5s. Someday, I think they're on 11 now, so who knows when we'll catch up with them.
Yeah.
You could just cheat that logo every time now.
Yeah, I'll probably. I was talking to Mike earlier, and I think I gotta start thinking now about 4. I probably won't stick with the Mortal Kombat theme.
Okay,
We'll see.
See, like I said, bad idea guy here. That's obviously a bad idea. Okay. All right, Mike, you want to take that? So let everybody know that will, to remind everybody, that's coming back next week. We still have another week to submit our 8 covers for combat. And how many did you say you have in, Mike? Am I the only one you're waiting for?
No. Who else? Guess who else?
Tyler.
Yeah. He asked me. Oh, you may have seen it. I think I did it on there.
Yeah, I did.
He asked me when. I was like, well, everybody. I don't even remember the dates now, but I asked for his 3 days earlier or something.
Yeah. So everybody submitted except me and Ty. That's fine. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So stay tuned for that next week.
Yep.
All righty. So then the first thing we're getting into this week, and it's basically the reason we're not doing cover combat this week is your In Case You Didn't Know segment. Correct, Mike?
Yes.
All right, here we go. All right. So I want to put us to the side or to make you big. Which way? Where? How do you?
Well,
want
I have a lot of pictures, so put us to the side.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. So the pop art world. I think one of the most famous pop artists is Andy Warhol, and I think one of his most famous pieces of work was the Campbell's soup can. For the longest time, I thought, oh, he created the Campbell's soup can logo. No, he just stole it and turned it into a big piece of art that people pay a lot of money for.
Okay.
There was also another pop artist that was kind of equal to him. I think a little more despicable. And his name is Roy Lichtenstein, and he was a thief in my eyes and a lot of people's opinion. He was born in 1923, died in 1997. His active period was 51 to 97 upon his death. But what he did and made a lot of money over was he stole comic book art. He had other original art that looks nothing like this. He used the Ben-Day dots quite a bit, but this is called Drowning Girl. He did this in 1963, and it's copied from Secret Hearts number 83, which was a DC comic book. And the original artist here that you see on the left is Tony Abruzzo. Now, the biggest problem that I have is he never gave credit to the original artists.
Mm.
Now at the time, Tony Abruzzo did the work here, but it was paid, he was art for hire and stuff like that. So he was paid to do this for DC Comics. DC owned the rights to the images and things like that. But he also never gave credit to the DC and in the other comics, Marvel and stuff like that. And I found out about it a few years ago. Here, Neil Gaiman had posted on Twitter, the Museum of Modern Art had done something about Secret Love, about this piece of work, and they didn't mention, or they mentioned DC.
But
and I like how he used that Lichtenstein traced, because that's exactly what he would do. He would trace it, project it up on a wall, and then paint it on his canvas. It said, "Wouldn't it be better if you credited the human artist who drew it? His name is Tony Abruzzo." This was a follow up. There, I'm gonna share all this on the Xcellar Facebook page.
Okay.
So, because there's a lot to unravel here. I have examples of different pieces that I've got the original art. This is called Blam from 1962. In 1962, this piece sold for $1,000, which is $9,000 in today's money. It's from All American Men of War 89. That individual book will cost you about $350. The original artist is Russ Heath. Once again, he never credited Russ. And I think Russ and him and Lichtenstein actually served in World War II together. They knew each other in World War II.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's not like, and then there's a lot to read. Lichtenstein knew how to find out who drew these, because a lot of times the artists weren't credited in the books either, but there's a way to find out. And what I have is this is called Taka Taka because of the thing there. 1962. Nick Caputo is the artist from Battlefield Action number 40. And then we have this one's called Wham. This is one of his most popular ones. Irv Novick drew the original, which is on top. This is from All American Men of War 89 as well. He used a lot from that book. You can get this book for $85, and I'm sorry, this one you can get for $350. This sold for $44,800,000. Not initially, but I think that's one of the recent sales. So the pop art world is making a killing on these pieces, which are traced and stolen. These aren't even just inspired. These are just blatant ripoffs.
Well, yeah. Why is that worth $44 million though? Anybody answer that, please? Comment below.
Yeah. And when you go and read where the write-up, where this is, wherever this is shown, if it's not in a private collection, and you read about Lichtenstein, he's just praised about the dynamics of this and the use of this. It's like, man, it's Irv Novick's art. This is kind of frozen here. Okay. I think Russ Heath wrote and drew this. I think Darwin Cook did the colors for it. I thought I wrote it down, but anyway, it's difficult to read, but this is concerning that piece called Wham. And it's just, there's never ending supply of pieces that he had done. This is from 1962. Once again, All American Men of War 89. This is Russ Heath's work. This one is, called Crying Girl, Secret Hearts 88, John Romita Sr. This one is actually, you guys are going to want to go back and watch Night of the Museum, the second one. It's actually animated as they come onto the scene there out of that room.
Yeah, I'm gonna go check that out.
Yep. It's also in and I forgot about this. Emily had mentioned it. Weekend at Bernie's. They walk in and the guy's like, "My God, that's a Lichtenstein." So it's not just in there. It's, you can buy shirts, you can buy prints. There's a huge money making machine here with his stolen art. What I like to say. This is called Jet Pilot, 1962. Once again, All American Men of War, 89. Jerry Grandinetti is the original artist, and this is straight from the cover in the bottom corner.
It's insane.
Yep. This next one is going to blow your mind. This is called Masterpiece. Ted Galindo is the original artist. I couldn't find where this was from, but this sold for $165 million.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. And this one, this is difficult.
Go back to that one for just a second. I'm sorry.
Go back for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he changed the
comparing these, the one thing I would say is, you use the word tracing.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like they aren't traced. Obviously, they're ripoffs, but
yeah, some of them are.
They are.
Yeah, and he even described it himself on his process. Some of them are. Other ones, like this one, you can definitely see some differences.
Yeah.
But if this was a music world,
right,
he'd be in court in minutes.
Well, that's was going to be my next question too. Have you done any reading as to why this guy's not in court because of this original art? You'd think even if the artists themselves wouldn't have the means or the energy or whatever to take him to court, you think DC Comics would. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep.
Did you read anything as to why that's not the case?
No, there's a ton. I have some, and I'll have links on the Xcellar page as well. Because like this one right here, you'll see up top, it's deconstructing. Basically, I had to crop that, but there's a Facebook page and a Flickr account called Deconstructing Roy Lichtenstein. David Barsalu is the man that compiled all this stuff. He's been working on stuff like this for years.
Okay.
There's a lot of information. I'll have links on the Xcellar page. If you want to know more, go there, because it took me, I had probably 5 or 6 hours just compiling this, just looking up, trying to find out if I can find a price or where it was initially printed, what comic book it was lifted from, all that. So I'm almost done. A couple more. This piece down in the right corner, it's called Okay Hot Shot Okay from 1963. It's taken from 3 different books: All American Men of War 89, 90, and GI Combat 94. And Russ Heath and Irv Novick, once again, are the original artists that this was taken from. He'd used mostly war and romance books. And finally, we have, this is called Gurr, obviously. and the letters he took, seriously, it's not even like he drew those. He took that from another comic book. And then the picture of Pooch there is from Our Fighting Forces 74, and that's Joe Kubert. So I'll close again. Roy Lichtenstein is a thief, was a thief. He's no longer with us. But people have made millions and millions of dollars off of his work. He made millions and millions of dollars.
And they still are, right? Those paintings are still in circulation, right?
Yeah, they're you can get prints of a lot of those. You can get t-shirts. It's in, it's in movies. It's everywhere.
Without the original artist getting a penny.
Yeah, or even recognition. I think that's a lot of the times. I think Russ Heath and Irv Novick, they were for credit, not necessarily, even though they were both poor. They had to get a lot of help for a lot of their health issues later on in life. Yeah, it's just they were wanting even some credit, like, hey, Russ Heath drew the original piece that I traced. And I shared personally on our pages, there's a documentary called Wham Blam, and it's going to be premiering in Arizona January 23rd. Whenever that becomes widely available on streaming services or starts playing in places and I find out about it, I'll share it on the Xcellar page.
What's that about? Is that about this whole thing with Lichtenstein?
Yeah.
Documentary about all this? Okay.
About him and his thievery of the
This
artwork.
thievery crusade. Got it.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I was going to ask you about because I wasn't sure. I thought maybe I missed it too because I cut out there, but I wondered if you had watched the documentary because I didn't notice that it hadn't premiered yet. So yeah, I'm interested in seeing that myself.
Yeah. I can understand inspiration, but I mean, this is out and out.
Yeah, it's crazy because they in the art world, in the pop art world, I think a lot of this is known, and they seem to celebrate the fact that that's part of being the artist, is being able to appropriate something else and turn it into something. But it all comes down to just give credit where credit's due. You know?
Yeah.
Don't try to. Maybe the general public isn't aware of it, so make them aware of it. You know, that you're using somebody else's artwork as your own.
Yep.
Well, I've got two things to say about it. One, you said it was going to make us angry, and you're right.
Yeah.
Because that does make me angry for all of the artists' sake and the fact that it's still happening. And I want to know why at least DC, with all their resources. And here's the irony too. You know, we obviously when we had Em on, you know, she was talking about Bill Finger and everything that went on there. And DC was kind of trying to keep everything for themselves, obviously. Right?
Yep.
So then why isn't DC at least going after, like, you know what I'm saying? They must be in like cahoots together somehow. I don't know, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. It's, well, he passed away in 97, but his estate is still making a lot of money from it.
Right. Yeah.
And, you know, in drawing a blank in the comic book world, when somebody copies a book, is it lifting? I can't remember what swiping. Thank you, Patrick. Yeah, that's it. You know, that happens, and there are notorious swipers out there, and when people find out about it, man,
Dora's got a problem with that. Yeah,
they just lambast people, you know, for swiping.
Hold on a second. I said Dora's got a problem with that. Dora the Explorer, swiper, no swiping. Come on.
Yeah, swiper. I get it.
That was an easy pick right there.
I still have no idea what you're talking about.
You don't?
No.
Well, Dora the Explorer, the old cartoon.
Yeah.
There was a fox that would always steal stuff from her backpack.
Okay.
You know, this goes to show, you know, how my children and what generation and what they were watching, you know.
Yeah, we missed out on Dora. Sorry.
Well, yeah, Cora watched it.
Her favorite catchphrase for that was "Swiper, no swiping." The fox's name was Swiper. So anyway, all right, moving on.
Anyway, so that's it.
Well, the only other thing I had to say about it is I did know that. Patrick, did you know?
Yeah, we had actually, I think on a podcast, we touched on it a little bit. But
well, I was going to say I wasn't sure, but I knew. The only reason I knew it was from Mike before. So, yeah.
Touched on what? I'm lost.
Just Lichtenstein stealing stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, we talked about it before?
Yeah.
Just a little bit. Johnny
it was nowhere near as involved or as details you just gave us. So what you just did was, like I said, that's what definitely made me angry because it's way more in depth than you got. I didn't know it was that bad. I think you shared like one picture. I think it was the drowning girl.
Oh, you know, that was probably when Neil Gaiman had tweeted about it. Because that was like 2 years ago, 90 or 91. Holy cow.
Yeah.
I think it was 2021, and that was the first I had ever heard of him, and I was like, "Holy cow!" But I once again, you know, I think Neil is always standing up for what's right, and that angered me, and that's probably why I did it then, and then came up with the idea to trying to shed some more light onto it.
Well, that was going to be my last question. I have this first too, though. Karen's correcting me. She thinks Swiper was a weasel. Okay, sorry about it, Karen. And any foxes or weasels I may have offended. And then she has a message for you specifically, Mike. Thank you, Mike. That was extremely informative.
Oh, cool. Yep.
The last thing I wanted to say or ask was, is there something that happened recently that made this topical to you personally, that brought it up to you?
It's always been on the back burner of something I wanted to look into more. And then
okay.
when I had the in case you didn't know stuff coming up, I was trying to think of what can I do that is interesting that people might not know about.
Gotcha. Okay.
So that's
And that
why
came up. Perfect.
So, but I've got the David Barsalu. I got a lot of information from his pages. He's done a lot of work, so I'll share all that.
And share a link to that. Is it a group or is it just a page?
It's a Facebook page,
Okay.
and I mean you can join it, and he still posts a lot of stuff, and there's just so much information
Okay.
to go over. But I got to give credit to him. He he did a lot of the
Did
hard
the work. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't want to come out the end of this like a hypocrite.
Right. Yeah.
All right. Awesome, though, man. Seriously, your In Case You Didn't Knows are ridiculously awesome.
Well, thank you.
I'd be watching this show every week if I wasn't on it. I think I've said that before, but
yeah.
All right. So then to move on to a segment that's nowhere near as good, that people won't enjoy near as much, but is still fun. What I watched. All right. First thing I want to do, and right after you did all that talking, Mike, I'm going to ask you to do some more talking, is bring up, and this is probably the last time I'll be bringing this up, because we all didn't agree to watch Quantum Leap.
We did agree.
I watched episode 4. Patrick, have you watched any?
No.
Okay. And in your defense, Pat, you never agreed. I'm obviously just joking. Mike, I know you did watch. How many did you watch?
I watched, Emily and I watched 3.
Okay.
Which is promising, because if I didn't like it, I would have stopped at 1.
Right. Yeah, that's exactly what I was feeling myself personally. That's why I gave it a decent review. But like I said, I wasn't a huge Quantum Leap fan from the past anyway. So as a huge Quantum Leap fan, and to remind all of our viewers, listeners, that your dog is named after Quantum Leap.
Yeah.
That's how big of a fan, huh?
Yes.
That's how big of a fan of Quantum Leap you are. So as a humongous old school Quantum Leap fan, what is your review of the new Quantum Leap?
I love it. I think it's really well done.
Good.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't expect to hear that. I know you said you just I got a little bit behind the scenes and you were like, I'm enjoying it for the most part. So I didn't expect. I love it though. You do though. Love it, huh? Awesome.
Yeah, it's given us stuff that the original series didn't. We're getting a lot. Before, everything that we were seeing was where Sam was. Now we're getting kind of
where he came from and where he is.
Right.
Yeah.
We're seeing some of that. And there's a lot of unknowns that were, like questions proposed in the first couple episodes. It was like, oh, I gotta wonder how that's gonna play out. Where, so and all the actors are really good.
Yeah.
I like the story they reference Sam and Al
a lot.
So, and they're just doing it the right way, I think. Not
I was totally sorry, go ahead.
I'll say this real quick. I was talking to Cora about it, and I was explaining to her. I said, it's basically, and I completely forgot about this episode in the original series. I said, let's say, he leaps into this thing or he leaps somewhere, and he's in a boxing ring, and he doesn't know why he's there, and he's just getting punched, and he's got to kind of figure out what's going on. And then we watched episode 3 this morning, and it started, and he's in a box. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That was pretty funny.
Yeah, that is pretty funny. Karen has another special message for you, Mike.
Mm-hmm. Is it I told you? Oh, thank you, Karen.
But Karen, your lucky Johnny's not here because it is YOU''RE.
Yeah. You'd think Johnny was like a high school English teacher. With how aggressive he is. But I agree with him though.
Yeah. So like I said, I was surprised you said you loved it, but I'm happy to hear that, especially since obviously Karen started the ball rolling, but then I jumped on with recommending you watch it. And then secondly, I was thinking the same thing you were thinking about how they switched from where he was jumping to and what's going on behind the scenes back to where he's supposed to be.
Mhm.
And that got me to thinking with the original Quantum Leap, that could be a whole new series. Like what was going on behind the scenes with the people that the original Quantum Leap left from, Yeah. So, anyway, that's great to hear that you're really enjoying it. And I'm, like I said before, it's okay. I'm just not a huge Quantum Leap fan, but it's definitely, I think it's well done too. I agree with that. So.
Yeah. I mean, the show gets formulaic,
Oh yeah. Well, that all those shows do, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they can't
Yep.
really do much about that. So
I think the biggest key is one thing that I was mistaken about. I thought they were kind of rebooting it and trying to just act like the original never happened and this is all a new thing, but it's a continuation, which is really good. And in it, Sam is still out there, I assume, bouncing around.
Yeah.
They never found him.
Yeah, I'm thinking it'll be a big fail if they don't ever have Sam on the show. That would be a great cliffhanger or a great season premiere or something like that. So
privately, I'll send you a theory that I have.
Okay.
There's stuff going on in it that I don't want to spoil for people, but I'll tell you what that is.
Okay. All right, cool. Speaking of rebooting, well, our speculation that was just a reboot and they changed everything without acting like the past existed and everything. I noticed a new show that just came out that they've definitely changed up a lot. Night Court. You guys remember Night Court?
Yeah.
Did you guys used to love Night Court?
Yeah,
yep.
I was a fan.
Yeah, I was a fan too. I love that show. Well, apparently it's back out again. And I think it's the original, I can't remember anybody's name anymore, but the original judge's daughter, it's a female judge. The mean lawyer guy from the original show is still the mean lawyer guy. And it looks like the bailiffs are two female ladies that might be the original bailiff's daughters or something like that. So that's how they're kind of, I'm gonna check it out. I'll let you know. Yeah. It's not very geek culture. Maybe I'll just let you know personally. I guess it is geek culture, but
we watched it this week.
What'd you say?
We caught them with the first 2 episodes this week.
Oh, geez. Okay. So let us know what's up. Is it good?
I think I'm giving it a chance. I mean, you can't expect fireworks out of the gate. I don't think.
Right.
Melissa Rauch, she wasn't the Big Bang Theory. She's the judge. She's Harry's daughter.
Okay.
And John Larroquette is back as Dan Fielding. That's it. Everybody else is new.
Okay. The bailiffs, those two ladies, those aren't daughters of the other guy or anything?
No, there's only one bailiff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I think the original actors and actresses have all passed away, haven't they?
Well, I figured they'd have them be their kids, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah,
like
a lot of the original cast has passed on.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's some funny things in the first 2. It's not perfect, but I've been kind of following this. I've been kind of interested. I like Melissa Rauch.
Yeah, me too.
And I like John Larroquette, and I like the original Night Court. So that was enough to let me, test the waters and see where it goes.
And pun intended, but the verdict is still out.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So this is it for our Quantum Leap / Night Court segment. Actually, Karen wants to one more thing with you, Mike. I'm sure this is Quantum Leap reference. Theory ?
Okay. Yeah.
Oh well.
Yep.
All right. To get back to other things that might not be so good. Who knows? Stay tuned.
I'm going to text Karen right now. Continue.
No, pay attention to this. I really need
okay.
I really need Karen right now to get some laugh tracks going.
Well, Patrick and I will be your laugh track. You hope.
That's true. Okay.
You hope.
Good luck.
All right. So here's the first thing I've got. This movie called The Last 7. Now, this came up on my Amazon, I'm sure, because, and it's already been teased, I'm going to be reviewing The Last of Us. And I actually typed that in. So then The Last 7's on there, right? So another thing attracted me to this, though. Well, it didn't really attract me to it, but another thing allowed me to give it a shot is the fact that this is new. According to Amazon, if you can see the date on there, it says 2022. Can you see that right there below the rating stars?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. Then later I started looking it up, and apparently IMDb disagrees. This is from 2011. All right. And I'm like, oh, this is maddening. So then I Google it again, and then Google totally disagrees. This is coming out in 2010. I don't know when this movie came out. Legitimately, I have no idea. Could have been 2010 according to Google, 2011 according to IMDb, or 2022 according to Amazon. But I watched it on Amazon, so take that for what it is. But I was like, what the heck is going on here? But, you know, that kind of maddening thing never happens again. Never happens more than once. It's just a passing, very isolated incident type thing, you know.
Okay.
So this movie, if I were going to bet, I bet it's one of the older years. It's either one of the older years or just really bad. It's like a B movie. I think it was a real low budget British film, and the kind of plot line sucked me in right away. As you can see on the poster there, population of London, 7 million until today. So now there's only 7 people left, and we follow that guy in the top there. None of these people are really recommended or recognizable actor and actresses to me, but we follow that top guy screaming like crazy in the poster. He wakes up first, and he's all alone. And I wanted to throw in the towel on this movie within the first 15 minutes, but again, I said I'm a professional, so I'm going to stick this out. Okay. I was literally watching my watch. I got a new watch for Christmas. So I was literally watching my watch. We watched this guy walk through London for them to show us that there's no one else in London, literally just around the street. No talking, no kind of eerie creepiness happening. Not even a good score in this. We literally watched this guy walk around just to show us that London was completely gone. All the people of London were gone for 15 minutes. I'm not even joking. I was like, oh my God, we get it. He's by himself. Everybody else has mysteriously disappeared for some reason. So I watched it. I timed it. It was 15 minutes, 10 seconds before anything else happened besides for this guy walking around London to show us it was empty. So that's a little foreshadowing as to how bad this movie is. But then, as you can imagine, he finds 6 other people, and they are the last 7. And basically, as they're just kind of functioning together, which they're dysfunctional, they don't like each other, they don't want to be together, but they're all like, we're the only set. What else are we going to do? We're the only ones, you know. But this military guy in the bottom of the poster here, he's like trying to keep it together and be in charge and stuff, and no one's liking him either. But during the whole cohabitation of them, they all are having flashbacks and slight memories until it all kind of comes to the end of the movie, to where all these flashbacks kind of come together and, you know, I won't spoil it, kind of give you the conclusion. And the plot being slightly clever. And again, I think, you know, and I'm going to mention this, we've talked in the past few weeks about how movies can be so compelling and so great. And then if they, you know, drop off at the end, it's a crap movie. This movie kind of sent me the other way. And I'm not sure that's a positive review anyway, either. Basically, this movie was completely atrociously horrible up until the last 10 minutes. And then it was only barely tolerable. So it did take a step up. So I don't recommend this movie. Actually, I'm just going to spoil it too because I don't recommend anyone to watch it anyway. This ends like Lost. It ends up they've all been dead and kind of in this.
I didn't see the last episode of Lost.
Oh,
Seriously, I watched every episode of Lost. I had to work late the night the final episode aired.
it's too late. It's too
Emily
late.
watched it and I missed it. And I never got back because I'm like, I gotta start all the way over.
You knew though before I just mentioned it, right?
I had no clue.
You didn't know for real? You didn't know what happened at the end of Lost for real?
No, I've always avoided it until this moment.
Oh my god!
I blame this terrible movie. It can't get any worse. Rosebud. No.
Okay.
But continue because it's my own fault. When was the last episode of Lost? Like
2010, I think. Yeah.
I should have.
Should have caught up. Should have caught that.
Right.
I'm shocked you were able to avoid it because people bring it up and bash it all the time. You know? But yeah, they're dead. They're in this purgatory, and they all actually knew each other. They're all connected in a certain way. And then there was an explosion that they all died together. And there is a little bit of a point there that I won't spoil, but that's basically the gist of this bad movie. All right, like I said, maddening things with movies is excuse me, few and far between, very isolated incidents. So the next movie I watched was The Colony. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. This is Lawrence Fishburne's The Colony. That's not it. I watched The Colony. No. This is Emma Watson's The Colony. Incidentally, the Lawrence Fishburne was 2013. This is Emma Watson's 2015 The Colony. So then I watched 2022's The Colony. Oh no, wait, I'm sorry. This movie's called Tides. This isn't confusing at all. I don't know why I brought up those colonies at all. This is completely a different movie. This is called Tides. Oh wait, no, at the last second, Tides decided to change its name to The Colony. No joke. I have no idea why. And I even did some research to see if someone would tell me why you would change. This is the same movie. This is the same movie poster. Mm-hmm. Why you would change an original movie's name that I'll tell you about the movie. This Tides is a perfect title for it. To a name of a title that was in so many other movies already. It's so crazy, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's so good. Let's use it 3 times.
Yeah, it's insane.
Out of all 3 of those, the first one, the Lawrence Fishburne one, I want to see that one. That looks awesome.
I've seen this one.
I mean, Bill Paxton, that looks good.
Yeah, this is a great, and that's what else is crazy about these. These are big actors and actresses in these too. These aren't like obscure, B-level movies. Mm-hmm. I'll just review The Colony with Lawrence Fishburne and Bill Paxton. This is a great movie. Okay, check this movie out. I loved it. Okay, I never knew of this Emma Watson. What's that other guy's name? He's from the MCU. He's
yeah, he looks familiar.
He's a Baron Zemo. Yeah, Baron Zemo. Yeah, Daniel Bruhl.
Oh yeah.
But these two, I've never seen this one, never heard of this one. But guess what? Stay tuned for a review next week of The Colony. I didn't find this until late, so I didn't have time.
You're going to change the name to What Colony Kevin Watched.
Yeah, exactly. All right, but back to the one I actually did watch this week. 2022's The Colony. This is actually an Amazon original, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And basically what's happened, and again, you can tell why Amazon brought this up to me, is because Karen, I was just looking at some comments. Karen says, talk about stealing. Yeah, because you're in case you didn't know segment, right?
Right.
Go back. Sorry, go back to that Emma Watson real quick. I just want to see that.
Okay.
Okay. For some reason, I thought it almost has the same exact, graphic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I almost thought I saw the same line going through the colony there. But no, never mind. Sorry.
Oh yeah. It does look like it could be. I could see what you were saying. Yeah. So anyway, that's okay. So again, Amazon listening, my phone listening, whatever. This is about us human beings ruining the earth, and we escape.
Yeah, how about that?
The human race escapes to another planet. It's called Kepler. And the problem there, though, that they didn't foresee, because they thought it was a planet that was sustainable. But once they got there, ends up, it basically, there's some kind of radiation there. It doesn't kill anybody, but it makes everybody infertile. So no more kids can be born on this new planet that they've moved to. So they need to figure a solution to that. And the solution is, of course, to send people back to Earth to see if it has become habitable. So then all the rich people that could escape to Kepler can come back to Earth and ruin it. That's kind of the message in this movie. It's like, colonizers bad kind of thing, And like I said, this movie being called Tides, I thought was very fitting, because one very interesting thing about the Earth is basically there's no 24/7 land anywhere. The whole Earth has been enveloped by water, but it moves in tides across the entire Earth. So the only place that people can safely stay are in, you see these aircraft carriers and ships in the background that is be on boats, and then the tide goes away and you kind of wherever the tide left you, and then the tide comes back and you're safe. You know what I mean? So
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it is. It is a really cool premise. I really enjoyed a far majority of this movie, and especially when they send. I think it's like a 3-man crew from Kepler. And actually, it's the second time they send the first 3-man crew. And of course, this is a story as old as time as well. They send a first 3-man crew, and they don't hear anything back from them. They just kind of disappear and fall apart or fall away from existence. So then they have to send a second crew to then try to do the same thing. And the exploration of this mysterious Earth that has these tides coming and going is very interesting. But spoiler alerts here. This isn't big ending spoiler alert or anything, but this is pretty late in the movie, or probably halfway, actually. Come to find out, there were actually survivors from the Earth previously, that it's a colony of these and they've kind of become kind of almost Neanderthal. They speak in grunts and this really odd language. That survived the catastrophe of the Earth's destruction, and they've learned to, basically exist with the way the Earth has become. So of course we get this whole new conflict with, don't mess with us, leave us alone. Like, these are just the survivors of Earth before, telling the people from Kepler to not come back because you'll just ruin the Earth again. We've gotten used to it. This is how we like it, kind of thing. And then, like I said, there are some other spoilers I won't get into. Actually, the best parts of the movie, in my opinion, as we get further in the movie, that are pretty interesting as well. Special effects in this are great. Dialogue's really good. There is one guy, damn it. Forgot to have my notes ready again. There's one guy or two guys actually, that's recognizable characters. The one actor that plays, he's in Game of Thrones. Neither one of you
missed it. I probably watched Lost before I watched Game of Thrones.
Yeah, there's a big guy from Game of Thrones in this, and there's a couple recognizable people in this. So this is a pretty quality movie. I liked, like I said, a far majority of this, but again, what am I going to say?
The ending let you down.
The ending let me down. It is not bad. So it's still, I'd still give this probably a quality 7. But like with the way this movie was going, if they could have popped off something great at the end, I'd probably give this like an 8, 8.5, 9 maybe. This is really good. But like I said, even with the subpar ending, and it's pretty simple ending too, in the way that it doesn't really get you thinking. Because I was thinking, am I missing something? Because it was a little bit poor with the rest of the movie being so done so well. And kind of looked it up, and yeah, it's exactly what I got from it. It's exactly what it's looking to give you, and it's just a little bit of a letdown. But like I said, overall, I give this a 7. You should check it out. So it could possibly be under Tides or The Colony, on whichever streaming service you are viewing this on. So. All right, and then lastly, we got a comment here from New York Mike. He said, I think I've seen this before. Wally, no wait. After Earth, no wait. Interstellar, no wait. Exactly, Mike. Yeah. I think for every review for the past 2 or 3 weeks, I've been starting it with, okay, we've ruined the Earth and we have to leave the Earth, right? I mean, I'm not exaggerating, right?
Yep. Yeah, it's a go-to.
Yeah. So anyway, then I got to a more topical show, The Last of Us.
Hey, it looks like we ruined the Earth.
You are completely correct, Mike, except we didn't leave. We just dealt with it.
Well, it seems like everybody left except for, I don't know, these two.
Well,
I never played the game, I'm guessing.
That was going to be my first question. So this is based on the video game, The Last of Us. Have either of you played that? Mike said no already. Patrick, have you?
No, unfortunately, I never got around to it. I wanted to, but I just never did.
Me too. I think it's a PlayStation exclusive, though, so that's why I never played it, because I'm an Xbox guy now. So
yeah, I'm not even going to look for it then.
Yeah, don't bother. And I heard nothing but great things about it. I think there's a couple of them now, isn't there, Pat?
Yeah, I think so. And then it got remastered on the 4 or 5. So
gotcha. But this is pretty interesting premise, which again, since I hadn't played the video game, I didn't even know what the premise was. Do you at least know what the premise is, Pat?
A little bit.
Okay, Pat or Mike? No,
I'm guessing they're just last.
Well, it's a little bit of a misleading title.
Yeah.
Because, and I shouldn't even say maybe it's a misleading poster, because it says The Last of Us and only has 2 people there, but there's a bunch of people left.
Yeah, I assume there's got to be somebody more than these 2, or it's just
Yeah.
Point.
Yeah, exactly. And they've got kind of a zombie twist on this. They aren't zombies. I haven't decided yet. I've only seen the first episode of this. I think the second episode came out this week, and I haven't got an opportunity to watch it yet. But basically, fungus has become like a pseudo virus, except unlike other viruses and such, it not only kills you, I guess, or maybe it doesn't kill you, but it takes you over. So it starts to control you. So basically you become mindless. You become this mindless creature that fungus can use to then spread. So, that's kind of the premise here. And Pedro Pascal is the lead in this, Mandalorian. And basically, and this kind of happens in the beginning, so I'll kind of maybe a little bit of a spoiler, but it's like the first scene. He has a daughter that he loses, and then he becomes like this kind of doesn't care about the world at all kind of guy. But then he runs across this other little girl that you see in the poster, that she's got this she's special for a reason I won't divulge either. But then he kind of starts taking care of her because of why she's special. And that's kind of what I get from the first episode. And I'm enjoying it. I, again, have heard people that are mad about this. They don't like it for some reason. And it's connected to maybe some changes from the video games, from what I'm assuming. But overall, I'm going to kind of carry this on. If you want to jump in on this, this is another thing we could get into talking about, weekly for a minute, because I don't know if it's just planning on coming out once a week and just kind of keeping that trend going, but I plan on continuing to talk about this as it goes. So
yeah, we'll try to squeeze this in. If they do it once a week, I should be able to catch up quickly. Yeah, we're full on, with Quantum Leap right now.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah. Did you see how many episodes Quantum Leap is?
I didn't look.
Okay. I don't think it's that many, maybe 9 or 10 or something. But Pat, you want to check this out?
We don't have HBO Max, so
I think I've heard you say that 100 times on here, and every time I followed up with, "I need to get you some codes." So guess what I'm going to do, Pat? I'm going to get
HBO Max and Peacock are not on our subscription plan. So
gotcha. So anyway, everybody check out The Last of Us on HBO Max. I enjoyed it.
Sweet.
Well, we're going to stay on the Pedro Pascal bandwagon. We talked about Mandalorian season 3.
Yeah.
But then they dropped the trailer on Monday. Want to talk about that at all?
I didn't even see they dropped a new trailer on Monday.
Yeah.
I didn't see it. I think they were going to do a football game.
Oh,
and, I didn't watch the football game, all of it. I missed it.
So New York Mike shared that trailer. That was a new one. I thought it was the same. I thought it was the one I saw the previous week. That was a new one, huh?
Yeah, it was a new one. That's right. He did post that up on Xcellar.
Dadgummit. Yeah, I'm going to have to check it out.
And if we want to continue the Pedro Pascal bandwagon, have you guys seen the Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent with Nicolas Cage?
I've seen a trailer for it. Yeah.
Check it out, especially if you're a Pedro Pascal fan. They have really good chemistry. It's basically a fictionalized story about Nick Cage himself.
Yeah,
they embellish and exaggerate and stuff like that, but there is a sequence in there that I didn't want to spoil it, but they get into some shenanigans and it's super, super funny.
Yeah, okay.
What's that? I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, the overall movie is pretty good, but the chemistry between those two is really good.
Gotcha. What's that on?
I have it on Blu-ray. I found it like on clearance at Target because it was like a Target exclusive slipcover. Target was sort of winding down their movie department, and I think they were clearancing out stuff, and I grabbed it for cheap. So, yeah.
I'll have to look up. So hopefully somewhere it can be streamed, or I might have to pick it up a Redbox or something.
Yeah.
All right, that's it for me. I was actually thinking, I was like, man, I only watched 3 things, but I found a way to draw that out, didn't I?
Well, you talked about the colony.
So much colony talk.
Yeah. All right, so then we'll move on to yours. You ready, Mike?
Yeah, just point me in the right direction. What am I talking about?
All right, here you go. Oh, and speaking of colony, I forgot to put this up too. My wife, she's like, "Oh my God, I thought you were seriously that confused." Yeah, no, I'm not confused, baby. The parent in Hollywood is. I don't know.
I was confused. I got an idea. Colony. Nobody's used that.
Yeah. All right, Mike. Let's see them.
All right. By the way, I knew it was pick 3. I was just kidding.
Yeah, I figured.
All right, pick 3. Without profits. It feels strange, but
It does.
these are our 10. And
Hey, I want to interrupt you again at Classic and
Yeah.
say all we
what you-
need is one comment. Someone comment in the comments. Hey, bring profits back, and we will.
okay.
Fair enough.
Yep.
Besides
All
the
right.
three of us, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So we'll start out All Out Avengers number 5 by Greg Land, Action Comics 1051 by Lee Weeks, Batman One Bad Day, Catwoman, Jamie McKelvey, Darkwing Duck number 1, Mirko Andolfo, and there are 40 covers for that book. 40.
I saw that. It was crazy.
Yeah, I almost
Who
picked
knew?
a
Who
different
knew
one.
Darkwing Duck had such a mass following? They'd need to stretch it out.
Yeah. And when Marcus was picking his covers, he stopped on this one, and I said, "Look, I can guarantee you, $100, Patrick's gonna vote for this one."
Uh-oh.
So I gotta run to the bank after the show. Junkyard Joe number 4, Brad Anderson, and fans of Platoon, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Thor number 30 by Nick Klein, Harley Quinn 26, John Boy Myers, Creepshow number 5, Chris Burnham, Punchline, The Gotham Game number 4, Warren Lau, and Detective Comics 1068, Ivan Rice.
Hey, let me see a show of hands, and I know nobody can see this because the covers are up, but I can see y'all.
Let me put that down.
Let me see a show of hands. Who thinks that Punchline looks like Jennifer Lawrence?
Probably is.
Wait a minute.
Let's see a show of hands then.
Yeah.
I got to go to the bank now too. I bet my wife that you guys would think it looked like Jennifer Lawrence.
Well, I can guarantee you it's based on a real person.
Anyway, go ahead, Mike.
Yeah.
What was that last cover?
Detective Comics.
Bye.
Ivan Rice. Is it Reese or Rice? Do you know, Patrick?
I don't.
Yeah, Ivan Reese.
All right, my wife's chiming in here, of course. Nope. No, I'm not reviewing that movie again, baby. That's what she's looking for another movie review of Nope. Oh, she's correcting herself. She does not. Okay, she's talking about Jennifer Lawrence. Okay, got it. Yeah.
I can kind of see where you would see that, but
Thank you.
Yeah, it didn't. I didn't see it.
Whether I'm right or wrong, I still feel not crazy when I get a little bit of validation. So I appreciate that, Mike.
All right. I'm going to start with, there was one cover that didn't receive any votes. You guys want to guess what it was?
Harley Quinn.
Catwoman.
That was Creepshow.
Oh, really?
Oh, wow.
Not even you?
No, I was struggling for picks this week. Yeah, so I just threw it up there because it's kind of classic and
Yeah,
has a cool spinner rack, and there were some cool things about it. But
very cool. I agree. I thought the only reason I guessed Catwoman is because I thought maybe everyone was a little Catwomaned out, which is why I didn't pick Catwoman. So.
It's like I'm done with Catwoman.
Yeah.
Yep. And if we look at the All Out Avengers, Emily actually brought this up. Who threw the shield?
Yep.
No, obviously we know who threw the shield. The question is, why isn't he in that picture? Right. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. I mean, right. We're all assuming that Cap threw it, but yeah, where is he?
Maybe he's just behind, since obviously they're so small. He's just behind Spider-Man. He's like on that side of Spider-Man.
Yeah. Can't see him.
That's what I'm gonna go with.
Emily actually noticed that, and I was like, "Oh, great! Now I found a reason not to like this cover."
Yep.
I already had a reason.
Because he's upside down.
Spider-Man is upside down.
He's always
he's always upside down.
If he's never upside down, someone's saying that's not realistic. Spiders are always upside down.
Karen Raymond. Oh, I'm sorry. No adding here. Karen has a comment on Catwoman. She says never. She is referring to Catwoman, I'm sure. Never be done with Catwoman. I'm Catwomaned out right now for sure. I don't know how you guys feel.
Yeah.
All right. So who won?
All right. Well, let me show you third place first. There it is, Jennifer Lawrence.
Oh wait. Nice.
Yep. It is really, yeah, Jennifer Lawrence. It is a really, I do like that one. It might be the purple. There was a lot of purple with that one, and Darkwing Duck, and Thor had some purple in the bottom.
Yeah, I usually don't like a lot of purple and pinks, but yeah, I picked this one. It's really good. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, this one had 5 votes.
Nice. Okay.
All
And
right.
then drum roll for the second one.
Coming in with 6 votes, Detective Comics.
Nice. Okay.
This one's great. When it's real small, it's difficult to see what all's going on there. But when you blow it up and actually look at it, it's like, wow, that's really great.
I am 2 for 2 now. I picked this one. It's awesome. I agree.
Yep. And number 1 with 9 votes. Here we go.
Wow.
Nice.
Action Comics. Yeah, this is just, I commented there on one of the pages that I follow. People were talking about this cover. I actually commented to Lee on his Instagram. And he's such a great guy. He responded with like a paragraph and stuff. No, I'm just kidding. He said thanks.
Yeah, I do believe I was 3 for 3 this week. I picked this one as well. And yeah, this you can see, this is what's great about this. You said, first of all, you said wow, Pat. So obviously you didn't pick this. Why'd you say wow?
I did pick it. I'm just surprised. I thought for sure Catwoman. I guess everybody is Catwoman out.
Yeah.
Except for the guy who actually voted for Catwoman this week.
Yeah. 4 votes for the Catwoman cover.
Hold on, Pat. You did vote for Catwoman?
I did. So did my son.
Yeah, let me let's see. We had Cora, Valor, Patrick, and Ayla. They're not Catwoman out.
Yeah, apparently. Yeah, what I was going to say about this is such a great cover because you can watch this cover happening with just this picture, right? I mean, it's great, right?
Yeah.
That's what I really like about it.
Yep. That's what I'm saying. I think Lee's really good at he really captures moments and it's just so great.
Yeah.
That's funny because just before we started this morning, I think I saw him post a new cover coming out.
For action or for, I think it's a different Superman book, right? Is it the one where Superman's like sitting on the ground? Yeah. Yeah, he's one of my favorites.
I think maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I didn't pick all 3 then because my wife is usually right and she says she picked all 3.
Wow.
Let's see.
And I didn't pick the same as her. I picked one differently than her.
Yep, Kevin picked this one. And what are the other winners? Kevin picked Punchline. Detective. I don't have you down for Detective. I have you down for, let me find your other one. All Out Avengers.
Oh, okay. Oh, I picked the Upside Down Spider-Man. I am corrected 3 times in one show.
Yep.
That is a cool cover, though.
Yeah, I do like that. All Avengers.
Yeah.
I think that's all of my Weeks books, but and also Lee Weeks is doing a backup story in Action Comics. I don't know if it's starting with this one or the previous issue. But for fans of Lee Weeks artwork, he is doing some backup stories in there.
Got it.
I think the title is going to anthology type storytelling.
Okay.
But I can't wait to get. I ordered that cover. It's just so great.
My last order. Let me ask you guys. I saw in this month's order, man, a whole new batch of Timeless variants. Alex Ross
villains. This time.
Mm-hmm. Did you grab them?
No.
I did. I grabbed every single one. So you can imagine my Yeah, my cart was big this month. I had to get permission from my boss
Yeah.
to go a little above and beyond, but I wasn't going to miss one. Every time I see one that I don't have, I'm like, why didn't I get that?
Yeah. Those are going to be great sets to put together.
Yeah,
It's just
exactly. That's what I want to do is get them all together, framed, and hang them somewhere. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. There was a lot, especially for, the heroes. There were so many books, and even for this one that I just don't get. That would be every once in a while I can buy a book just for the cover.
Yeah.
But that many, I was like, man, I just can't do that. It's hard.
Yeah. So, all right. Anyway, that was fun.
Yep.
Good stuff. Now let's get into some more fun, good stuff, or maybe some maddening stuff. Who knows? All right, I had to throw in that last, teaser phrase from the intro about how maddening these things are, and this isn't. This is more of a literal maddening. This isn't, a play on it making me mad, making me go mad, but it's just, Arkham City, the Order of the World is literally about madness in the world. So I read Arkham City, the Order of the World number 5, and the conclusion is number 6.
Oh man, this is the last issue.
Yeah.
I had a really funny joke that I was going to pull on you.
Oh, okay. Do tell.
I have these. I was going to take pictures of my last issue and do a review on it, but not just act like I was going to review it, but not actually review it.
Oh.
But yeah, too late. I'm laughing.
Just want to get a couple tracks in there. So anyway, all right. So starting with not The Last of Us. Starting with number 5. Reminder. Basically, this series is about an event that took place in Arkham Asylum where the Joker killed everybody, all the people that work at the asylum, and a far majority of the inmates. And then all the inmates that didn't die have escaped, and they are running rampant in Arkham City. Just to name a few, Ten-Eyed Man, Solomon Grande, Mad Hatter, Ratcatcher, Necromance, something like that, and Dr. Phosphorus. These are all kind of, to me, kind of B tier Batman villains. I hadn't heard of most of them actually prior to reading this comic. But anyway, this again, like I said before, I do believe this is a key. Not number 5, but number 1 of this series, because there's a new character called Dr. Jocasta Joy, and she's kind of the focus of this entire comic. She's the psychiatrist for a lot of the inmates in Arkham Asylum, and a majority of the ones that escape. And of course, Gotham City PD are trying to track down all these inmates to gather them up again. And she is kind of playing this game of pretending to assist the police with finding them with what she knows, having experience with, being the psychiatrist for these guys. But also she's trying to help them, as she does know where a couple of them are specifically. And then to throw another wrench in the story, excuse me, Azrael is the hero in this one. He's the only one, Batman's MIA for some reason. And Azrael's in this. He's trying to track down all these crazy maniacs as well, because of course they're, quote unquote supervillains for the most part. So the police just aren't getting the job done. And to kind of recap, up to this point in the story, we've just kind of followed her kind of moving from, inmate to inmate to inmate. And the connection between them all is they all are seeing the ghost of Arkham, Dr. Arkham, the creator of Arkham Asylum. And that's kind of the common thread that they all have. So in issue number 5, we learn that are either of you familiar with the character on the cover here?
No, I don't think so.
This is Dr. No Face.
No.
That's original.
Yeah, and I guess Dr. No Face has the ability to appear to everyone else as anybody, and it's a female she wants. And she's actually been appearing as Dr. Arkham for the sole purpose of kind of gathering up all of the inmates in the city to relocate them to this slaughterhouse that are you familiar with Pigface?
Vaguely.
Yeah, I know there's a pig villain in Batman, but I'm
So he's just a dude, but he wears a literal pig's head on his head, so he's Pigface. And Pigface has been kind of refurbishing this slaughterhouse as a new asylum because he's convinced that all you need to do is let the crazy people be crazy. So he's kind of invited them to the asylum, but there's not really any lockdown. They're not planning on any drugs, trying to rehabilitate them or anything. It's just kind of letting them come there and live. So Dr. No Face agrees with Pigface and has been masquerading as Dr. Arkham to kind of try to gather up all of the villains to go to this slaughterhouse to just kind of exist. And then in part 6, I won't give away everything here, but it seems to work. This comic book is very interesting in the way that it not only keeps you guessing, but it really gets you thinking. And this is in my opinion, what comics are better than the ones that really kind of get you thinking and philosophizing, is that a word? Kind of about crazy and what it really means and who's crazy and who's normal, quote unquote, all these things. Mm-hmm. And I think I mentioned in the previous issue too that Jocasta Joy is wrestling with this already in issue 4 as to whether she's actually going crazy, that the inmates are, making her crazy, or whether she is starting to understand that the inmates are actually the normal ones and she's quote unquote becoming normal. It's this very unique dynamic that as I've expressed before in the previous 2 reviews, I really, really enjoyed it. And unlike all of the movies that I've reviewed as of late and shows, man, the ending of this is really a kicker. It really pays off. I really liked the way they end this one. Kind of took me back, for a second, a little bit of a shocker. And man, it's really good. I definitely, now that I've read the entire series, strongly recommend if and I'll say it's a must-have for anybody who wants to kind of have a whodunit, where's this going kind of philosophy, mystery kind of thing, kind of book. If you're looking, if you're a superhero type, that kind of thing, kind of common superhero story type, this isn't for you, but if you're looking for something a little bit deeper and something that really gets you thinking, I definitely recommend. It's at least a get it, probably a must-have for most. Arkham City, The Order of the World, 1 through 6 at this point. So great stuff.
I think this kind of flew under the radar. I don't know if there was a lot of people talking about this this series.
Yeah, I think you're right. The only reason I totally jumped on is because, like I said before, I'm such a big fan of the old school Arkham Asylum, and this had the same look. That's why
Yeah.
I immediately jumped on and wanted to grab all of them. So I'm really happy I did, of course. So
I just noticed on that last issue, it had Batman down in the corner, and I'm trying to remember if Batman was on any of the other covers. Trying to at least, so people, see, it's there and there.
that's the movie. That's a movie ad.
Oh, that's the ad for the movie. Okay.
Yeah. This was the Batman movie ad is all over.
Okay.
Back and front and inside of this book.
Okay.
It must have been just coming out then. Right when it was.
Right. Because fans of Batman are gonna anything Arkham, they're gonna automatically jump on, but people that don't normally follow Batman Arkham City, but if you put Batman on there, it's like, oh, it's a Batman book.
That I didn't even put that together. You're right, Mike. Because if anybody gets this book expecting Batman, you ain't getting none.
He's not there. Yep. All right.
And speaking of, I think we mentioned this too, Patrick. How we think Azrael's really cool looking, and he's really cool. Not only just looking, I really liked the story of his character involved in this book too. So
no, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay. I read a book that I'm not sure you guys are aware of. It is called Chroma. Chroma. Now this, I'm really late on reviewing this. Issue 1 came out in November, issue 2 December, issue 3 came out January 18th. But don't worry, if you like the way this sounds, you have until April 12th to get the first 3, because April 12th is when issue 4 comes out. These are $7.99 a piece. And
Okay.
They're 48 pages. My copy is the local comic shop day cover and version, which was released in December, I think. So it took me a little bit of time to get to this. This is by Lorenzo De Felici, and he wrote it and did the artwork for it. I think Russ, is it Wooten, did he do colors? But Lorenzo worked with Robert Kirkman quite a bit. So this is going to be extensive because it's 48 pages. Hopefully it doesn't get too confusing.
That's a cool cover to start off.
It really is. And the original number 1 didn't have, I don't think the girl is as prominent on there.
The dinosaur's more prominent, or is that dinosaur bones, I'm assuming?
They're bones, yeah.
Yeah.
So this is really, I've got a lot here, so I'm just going to read this.
Okay.
It was 48 pages. So the King of Colors ruled in peace, sharing all colors in the sun and flowers and just other colorful things. And then a greedy man came along and he created a new color, saying the existing ones were not enough. The king felt betrayed and unleashed the plague of lizards, wanting all the men dead. This was called the Great Betrayal. So this is kind of backstory that you get as you read this. You're not told this right away.
We got here. Gotcha. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
You get this like midway through. So it's called the Great Betrayal. The survivors created what's called Pale City, and this takes place within Pale City. There are no colors within its walls, and the demonic lizard troops, which keep it under siege, can only see colors. They can't see in black and white. So growing with the frustrated stalemate that's gone on for years, the king snuck a monster inside of Pale City. It was quickly recognized and captured. So now every 10 moons, which I don't know how many moons is, how many one moon is, how long one moon is, but every 10 moons, the Maccabi leader, the Maccabi, who is the leader of Pale City, releases the monster within its walls, and it's hunted and captured again. This is done as a reminder of the struggle and as a message to the king. There's a character, Zet. He's a young orphan, and he is training to be a Maca along with 3 of his friends. And I think Maca are, from what I can gather, they may serve Maccabi, who is the leader. They are at McCavi's side during the 10 Moon ceremony where they're going to release the monster. And during this event, when the monster is captured again, Zet gets a very close look at the monster kind of beneath the bones there. So that's basically it. This monster is, and then the monster's kept in a tower. So kept in a tower every 10 moons, released, captured again, cycled through.
How long does it take a complete cycle of from, crescent moon to full moon? How long does that take?
I don't know. I don't know any of the moon cycles.
All right. Anybody comment below? Help us
Yeah.
out. Tell us exactly how long a full moon cycle is, and then that's probably how long 10 moons is, I'd assume, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know 10 moons.
I've got some wannabe astronomers in my family. Hopefully they'll comment.
What's so great about the black and white books with a splash of color, mostly Marvel, black, white, and red.
Yeah,
they're kind of they were neat at first, but after a while, it's like, okay, blah blah blah. The red is going to be the black, white, and blood. It's going to be the blood. This book is great because it takes the idea of black and white with splashes of color, really, and puts it within the story. So
you have interiors?
Yeah. I was so caught up in reading my thing here. So that's actually when they release the monster within the city. See how everything's muted, and they mute all the colors because right outside the walls of Pale City is a river, and the banks of that river, the clay is white. So they go out and harvest that, and they have to be careful because the demonic lizards are out there. And they bring that in, and that's how they keep everything so muted. But there are, it opens, that's the opening scene of the book. So with outside of the walls, it's very colorful, and you can kind of see Pale City in the background there. The outside of the walls are coated with it and everything.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
Yep.
And Jessica is commenting that a full moon cycle is 27 to 28 days, which is what I was going to guess. I was going to say like a month. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Probably every 10 months they do this thing. Okay.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing this cover.
That's issue number 2.
Okay.
I may have put that up for the pick
I think
3.
you did.
Maybe.
Yep.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
So here's some this is outside. This is where they go out to gather the clay and stuff. So you can see the trees look awesome and more colorful, but the banks and everything are there's no color.
Well, if you could put that cover up again real quick. Yeah, you kind of glossed over that, like you were saying with the black and white, and red is kind of played, but yeah, this has got just partial color, but a bunch of 2 or 3 colors. That's really cool. I appreciate this. If you put this in the pick 3 again, I'd pick it
because now you know the story.
Yeah.
Hey, this cover actually has something to do with the story.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right.
And, just to pick up, there you go. There's the the schedule on when things came out and come out. And this is a for me.
What's up with the hiatus? Do you know?
I don't know. Well, it's a one-man show.
Oh, gotcha.
But I did a little research or a little reading. He came up with the idea years and years ago, probably over 10 years ago. It's so crazy how people have an idea and it takes so long for the perfect opportunity to work on it and bring it to light.
Man, I know you can relate to this too, though. Yeah, that's how it is with me. I've got so many ideas, but how many years have I been talking about how, Xcellar's backstory isn't essentially done, but I got to blah, 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 and all the stuff you got to do to actually make it happen. It's 10 years later.
Yep.
Yep.
You know what makes me mad?
What?
Man, right by the claw, there's a ding in my cover. Son of a gun.
Oh, man.
This is prestige format. These are so difficult to read because that spine wanted to crease, and it's a black cover too. So I read this, barely opening it.
So we all feel that.
Yep. So this is a get it. I wouldn't say it's a must have because it depends on your take or on your taste. But this is a get it. It's a really great original story. The drawback is $7.99 a piece. That'll run you $32 for.
He says it's 45 pages.
44. Yeah.
So it's basically 2 books.
Yeah.
You know, that's not a bad price.
You get a lot of story, but if you're, you know, a lot of people like to trade paperback weight, so it might be more, you know, a little bit cheaper to pay $17, if that's what it ends up being, than the singles. But you're gonna wait for a long time. 48 pages. I'm sorry.
I think I'll definitely, you know, grab that one based on your recommendation as well.
Yeah.
Pat, every time you put that up, man, that is such a great. I feel like I'm in trouble all of a
I know.
sudden.
He looks so angry. I'm afraid of Patrick's review. He's like, son of a gun, this book.
For all the listeners, to let you know, we're talking about Patrick has a new profile pic, and it is a very angry thing pic that fits perfectly in the circle. So when it comes up, it's a little jarring for me. That's all I'm saying. All right, Patrick, what'd you read?
So let's see. I am catching back up with Batman. This is number 130, the finale to the Failsafe arc by Chip Zdarsky and Jorge Jimenez. I think there's a little bit of a gap there between the ones I talked about on the show. But when we last, the premise here is Batman at one point created a failsafe robot to take over in his place, or if he thought Batman ever crossed the line, he would take Batman down, take Batman out of the equation.
Oh, wow.
Because of some shenanigans, kind of a weak plot point there, but the failsafe was tricked into emerging because he thought Batman killed the Penguin. So when we last left off in issue 129, Batman had lured Failsafe, I believe, onto the watchtower, the JLA watchtower, which orbits the moon. And he attempted to blow him up, and it didn't go well for Batman. So Batman at the end of 129 was left stranded in space. So you guys a big fan of the Last Jedi Princess Leia when she got blasted out into space?
No.
Probably not going to like this.
Okay.
Batman basically finds a way to re-enter Earth's atmosphere and specifically land right by the Fortress of Solitude. Man, I tell you what, that's some quick thinking on his part.
Okay,
Yeah, he didn't burn up on re-entry?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. What was he wearing to survive re-entry?
He had this all planned out, man. He didn't have it planned out. He did it on the fly because he's Batman.
Okay.
I mean,
what did he do?
It's a little far-fetched if you ask me, but he's Batman. It's cool, but it's like, come on.
Okay.
There is a good joke in the midst of all this where Batman, I guess his suit is sort of all encapsulated where he has a very small oxygen supply. When the watchtower blows up, some of the Justice League's transport planes or spaceships are blown up. He is able to somehow tear into the spaceship and get the oxygen supply out of there and get, some kind of jet fuel thing to jet him back to Earth and get him back on track. And he uses his grapnel gun to adjust his, trajectory. It's pretty comic booky.
Oh, come on. I'll buy that. I'll buy that for $1. I mean, I'll buy that for $4.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in. It's Batman, right?
Yeah, it's Batman. And the joke part of it is at one point he sort of has like a face mask so he can breathe the oxygen. Mm-hmm. And when he starts re-entry, it starts cracking. And he says, his suit, all components of his suit are, I guess, impervious, or they can withstand space, but his face mask is cracking, so he removes his trunks and he makes a joke about, this is why I always tell Superman he needs to go back to the trunks. You know, that's sort of a big. That's sort of a. They got on the new Superman pitching red trunks.
You
So
think Zdarsky was like, whenever he had him in space and stuff, he's like, all right, I got to get him back. Oh, crap. Let me throw a joke in here to kind of misdirect everybody. It's like, that was funny. Okay, he's back on Earth.
You're right.
yeah. So he makes it back to Earth. And that takes about 6 or 7 pages of the book, by the way. It's cool. I'm not, you know, it sounds like I'm dissing it a little bit, but it's comic booky, it's exciting, it's Batman. It works for the most part. If you want to just suspend your beliefs for a minute.
Gotcha.
So he lands on Earth, as I said, almost impossibly right next to the Fortress of Solitude, where Robin and Superman are hanging out because the Superman was gravely injured by Failsafe, and they have him in sort of like a red sun chamber, or I'm sorry, yellow sun chamber to sort of regenerate Superman. They pull him out of there. Superman actually hears Batman crash land on Earth, so he, you know, gets out of his healing chamber and says, you know, we got it's Bruce, he's back. Batman confronts him and says, Superman, just buy me some time, whatever you can. I know you're not 100%. Buy me some time. I have an idea. So Bruce's idea is, you know, he's the one that programmed Failsafe. He knows, you know, a lot about him. Back when he blew up the watchtower, he was able to penetrate Failsafe's armor. So he knows he has that tiny window where he can somehow stick a USB drive into Failsafe and change his programming slightly.
Yeah.
His idea is he wants to add compassion to Failsafe's programming. So
that's a lot more thin, in my opinion, than re-entry.
Well, again, he's Batman. He created the thing,
right?
So,
incidentally, is that him in the background?
Yes, that's him coming after Batman in the background there.
Okay.
So Batman, you know, Batman makes sort of like a inspirational speech to Robin, says Failsafe was meant to take down Batman, but he's not going to take down Batman and Robin. So they do this last ditch effort to take Failsafe down. Batman is able to successfully put this thing in the port in Failsafe's back, and he thinks he downloads the extra programming that will get them out of this predicament. And the last minute, it seems as though this didn't work. He pulls out some kind of a, you know, it looks like a gun. It's some kind of blaster type thing, and he appears to. By the way, Superman's down and out. I glossed over that. Because Superman was 100%, and he knows all the weaknesses of the Justice League. He takes Superman back out, and at one point pulls out like a big shard of kryptonite, but they don't really show what happens there. So, you know, Superman's out of the equation again. So Failsafe pulls out this laser blaster destructoid gun and appears to blast Batman into nothingness. And Robin's like, you know, the compassion programming didn't work, and Failsafe tells Robin, that was compassion. So you're left at a big cliffhanger. You turn to the last page. There's a big what the spoiler, and you're left wondering what just happened.
What the?
Exactly. So, you know, it certainly was not how I expected this Failsafe arc to end. But it's intriguing. And I'm still on board. Still, you know, I've said it, you know, over and over again. I really like Chip Zdarsky's writing on Daredevil and Batman, and Jorge Jimenez's art is also very good. I think the next issue, I actually had it. I was going to read 130 and 131 and do my review, but I was like, after I saw the final page of 130, I was like, I'm just going to stop here, get this out of the way. It appears 131, Jorge Jimenez is not the artist on that. It's a either he's taken an arc off, or this is just a one-off fill-in for 131. But I figured, that was perfect stopping point. I'll give Failsafe, a definite get it. Especially from sort of a lapsed Batman fan. This was a good sort of reintroduction to Batman comics, because I had been away for so long, and I'm really enjoying it, and I'm still on board. And that last page is definitely something to keep you going to see what happens coming up. Awesome.
Makes me want to get back around to Batman sooner. That's for sure. That was a great get it or forget it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's been a while since we all three had not only get it's, but leaning into must-haves. That's awesome.
Yep.
What makes you feel good? You hate when you buy a book and then you review it and go, yeah, forget it.
Yeah, and that was perfect too, because it was a series I already had. That I've been meaning to read for a long time, a series that I have that I'm behind on already, so I already have Pat's, and now a series that I need to get apparently with Cora. So that was awesome. All right. And then there we did. We made Patrick last in the get it or forget it, and then we're going to move right into everyone's favorite segment.
Every week, too, I'm thinking, should I say something? No,
yes.
It's fine.
Next time, say it. We'll shuffle.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, make sure you just point it out, and we'll have you right in the middle.
Yeah,
and we'll shuffle me and Mike like this. You'll always stay here.
There you go.
All right, but are you ready, Pat?
I am ready.
All right, awesome. Here we go. All right, sweet. What we got?
All right, so we're still in that sort of dead zone. I feel like there's not much being announced, this time of year, but we can rely on McFarlane. He keeps parsing out the reveals. Seems like, one a week. He releases these wave reveals. The thing about McFarlane, it's starting to, I don't know, get my goat a little bit, but there's no real good way to reference these waves. They don't have an overarching, wave name, so you don't know what to call them,
Yeah.
But this wave's a little bit unique because it's two regular 7-inch multiverse figures. Those run you $24 retail, and then you can see the two in the back are what they call the mega figures, which if you've seen those on shelves, they're huge.
Yeah, they are. I've seen them a bunch. Yeah. I haven't seen these though. That's cool.
Yeah.
Abominus. Jeez.
They retail for $40. So I think I have individual shots here. I have no idea. I don't know. This guy to me looks ridiculous. But I guess he's from the Dark Metal.
Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't read the Dark Metal, so I don't know. But yeah, he does look looks like something a little kid would put together from a bunch of random toys he's got laying around.
Yeah, all these broken action figures. He just let me put these together as one guy.
Yeah, maybe they were sweeping up the McFarlane factory and like, wait a minute, you have something here.
Yeah.
No, I think he's probably from the comic.
It must be in there somewhere. It'd be interesting to know. We should do some research for next week or something how the picture, if he is in the comic, how he compares to this figure, so.
Well, yeah, McFarlane probably called up who wrote this, Snyder. And said, hey, I have a bunch of extra parts.
Oh, draw it in there.
Yeah.
So it was a pre-cahoots thing. It's like
Right.
this character needs to look ridiculous because I plan on in the future making a figure based on this character. So
Yeah.
Oh, and this is a bummer. I'm looking here. And I don't see my Calabac individual picture. I might have forgot to upload it, so I'll just go back to him. He's pretty impressive. I like that figure a lot.
Yeah.
yeah, you see, it's pretty cool. I don't know him though either. I mean, he's just is he oh okay, he's a dark side guy. Okay, I've got you.
Yeah. I think, for all, the many times they've tried to reboot, Jack Kirby's Fourth World characters, and they never seem to really latch on. I think they translate really well to toy form, all the characters in the Fourth World line.
And he's of a whole race that looks just like that. He's just the leader of them, right?
He's one of Darkseid's minions. Well, who is Calabac? He's Darkseid's other son.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Mike?
Yeah, I think so.
Different mother from Orion, but yeah. But especially when you take into consideration how big and massive these mega figures are, this should be a really cool figure.
Yeah, I was gonna say this picture, they don't really have them to scale in here because those are like nearly twice as big as the other figures, aren't they?
Yeah, you're right. I don't know. That's a good
Kind of
question.
got them shown as the same size on that picture. Yeah.
Yeah, which is kind of unusual. I think McFarlane's pretty usually good at doing these group shots. So that's a good catch there. I don't know.
Yeah.
This guy I'm not so impressed with. This Riddler figure. He's Arkham City Riddler.
Once again, we disagree.
Is he straight up from the Arkham City game? Is that what he looked like?
Yeah, I mean, he does look pretty good from the game, but in general, I think this is the kind of Riddler I like. I like the real kind of. He obviously looks like Riddler, but he's kind of just taken. It's a more serious, kind of representation of him. I like those kind of Riddlers, so I think this looks pretty cool.
I think the glasses what's doing it for me. I don't like them.
Ah, gotcha.
Maybe they're removable. And then we have Earth 2 Batman.
This one looks pretty cool too, man. I'm not getting it though. I'm not doing it.
As we discussed, Batman in every wave apparently, but they're all pretty cool looking. I don't know. Moving on from McFarlane over to Hasbro. I think I showed this figure a few weeks ago, but now that he's up for pre-orders and they're actually calling him the Spider-Man 2. I guess he's from that. They just released a trailer. I think maybe Tyler posted it or you posted it, Kevin.
Yeah.
The big outrage. I mean, this is a great looking figure. Mm-hmm. Lots of posability. It's a cool costume, I think. And but the big deal being made out of this figure online is he's $35.
Whew.
Why?
Good question.
He's the only one?
Yeah, he's sort of they're hovering in that 22, 23 range for these individual figures, and there's nothing out of the ordinary about this figure.
Man, no matter what you talk about, there's always, they abuse their fans. They probably know this is a super cool Spider-Man, so we can charge more and people will still buy it. That sucks, man.
Maybe, I'm just speculating here. Maybe it's because they have to, because it's tied to the game. They're paying additional, fees to Sony or
to the game.
I don't know. But yeah, 35. He's up for pre-order.
But it would even make more sense, even if they have to do that for this one figure. It would make more sense in the one line to just spread the uptick throughout all of them, so they'd all be. What are they usually? They usually 20.
Well, they're like 22, 23.
So yeah, bump them all up to 25 rather than just Spider-Man up to 35 and keep the rest at 22, 23.
Yeah, but that's the thing about this figure too, though, is he's not in a wave. He's just by himself.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, every once in a while, there's like the one-off. They're not included in part of a wave.
It definitely looks cool. He definitely looks good. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Man, I've tried a few times in my life. I don't know whether you've done this or not, too, Pat. Try to get good poses like this out of figures that have that many, and I never make it happen. It never looks as cool as they managed to make them.
Yeah. Well, you have to open your figures first. That's sort of my problem these days.
And also, when you make this pose and they set him down, he's just laying on his back on your table.
Yeah, well,
that's why you have to have those action figure holders stand.
Yeah, the stand.
Yeah, those are pretty prevalent these days for,
We've gotten a few of those in my family now, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it looks like I'm missing another picture here, but this, at least I have the back of the box. This was I may have talked about this, I can't remember, but they revealed Franklin Richards a few weeks ago, and now that up for pre-order, it turns out it's a 2-pack. It's Franklin and Valeria. This is coming in at $50. This lots, well, I wouldn't say lots, quite a few accessories. It comes with the Moloid head there. You see his name is Turg. He was part of the Future Foundation.
That's pretty cool. I'm
not sure about the beak. The beakers don't make sense for Franklin. I mean, he's not really science related. I'm not sure why they did that on the back, but
I wouldn't know.
Valeria is more, she takes after Reed. She's super smart, genius level. But these go along, they've already released 3 variations of Fantastic Four figures in the last few years, and so these pair along with this wave, which was released, now clear back in 2020 was when this wave came out. So yeah,
cool.
It's the costumes that they wore based predominantly in the Dan Slott run. So yeah,
it almost feels like Sue Storm's, like at least one of her hands should be turning invisible when you look at
the way they've got the rest of the team.
Reed and Johnny.
Yeah.
Maybe her hand that's going behind. Do you have these, Pat, by chance?
I do, but I don't recall. I think she might have some invisible parts, but I can't recall 100%.
Yeah.
They look cool though. Hey, that's what Jim from The Office is, Mr. Fantastic. That looks the most like him of any Mr. Fantastic I've seen.
Yeah.
From the Eternals, right?
No, it wasn't Eternals. Was it Thor?
Oh no, Doctor Strange and the
Doctor Strange, yeah. And then lastly, I know I showed these guys when they revealed the new announcements for the retro wave. But now they're up for pre-order officially. This is wave 8, retro 3 3/4 inch line. The new figures here are Spider-Woman, Power Man, and Dr. Doom. Spider-Man, Hulk, and Wolverine are all carry forwards from previous waves, but now they've smartened up. Okay, so Wolverine, this version of Wolverine was only available as an exclusive 2-pack from Hasbro Pulse, so that's a little more understandable. But Hulk and Spider-Man are the same figures they've released before, but they've changed the card art for these 3 carry forwards. So if you're a completist, a variant collector, like the Hulk logo used to be sort of the brick looking Hulk logo, and the Spider-Man used to be the Amazing Spider-Man. Now he's the Spectacular Spider-Man. So they've got you here if you want to be a completist for the whole entire line by changing the card art up.
What's the times 2 about on there? Why does that say that?
This is the case pack, so you'll get 2 of those figures and 1 of everybody else in a case pack.
Okay.
They do, that's generally because the newer, I don't know why Power Man's getting the short end of the stick here, but normally the older figures would be 1 per case, just, to fill in the wave. But in the new figure would be doubled up because they'd be new and popular. So Power Man will probably be if you hold to these numbers. Power Man would probably be hard to get if you don't snag them up as soon as they put them on the shelves.
Yeah, that's the thing when you look at the line. Okay, which figure is going to be the hard one to get? So yeah, it sounds like Power Man's the one.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna get that Wolverine. So
yeah, and enough with them changing the card art. I hate that. That just dang it. Now I have to get them all.
Yep. That's the plan.
Yep, that's their idea. Or like we talk about, you can turn people off and they get none. So
yeah, one of these days I'm gonna not.
That's what I was gonna say. Apparently they're doing it right because they keep doing it and it must work. I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's it for the Horizon this week. Like I said, we'll probably be coming out of that slow period here within the next few weeks, and more announcements we made. Conventions will start gearing up again, and you'll hear a lot more new product being announced. So,
well, man, it's impressive. I actually had this thought myself with what I watched this past week. Some weeks, I mean, and I'm sure it's the same with not only your collectibles, but also Mike's Pick 3. We talk about it regularly, how one week is just so dry, and then the next week you got more than you can handle. And I'd like to try to come up with some kind of structure where I'm like, okay, when I got more than I can handle, I'll spread it out more, So I still got some quality stuff rather than throwing in a horrible movie like The Last 7, But so, yeah, I mean, you do an excellent job with how you always have something, even if it's not as much as the big weeks when we, like you said, have all these convention releases and new orders and stuff like that. It's really good. And, that's what I think is really awesome about our show. Week after week, it's new, fresh stuff. And especially, obviously we're comics and collectibles, and Mike's got the comics that are coming out, and we find the good comics to read from the past. I mean, I'd watch this show every week if I wasn't on it. I think I mentioned that before. Great job, Pat. That was really awesome.
Thanks.
I wanted to mention something too, and this is just kind of a really off the wall thing. You see random things on the internet all the time, and I saw this theory about Spider-Man 2 that in what was the last Spider-Man? Far From Home, right? Or no?
No Way Home.
No Way Home. Where Doc Ock mentions, when Doc Ock first appears, he mentions where he was when he was taken away and brought to, where the events of No Way Home happen. And he mentions he was just strangling. He mentions how he almost had him. He had him by the neck. And then it was right after he was trying to destroy his, whatever that machine is that he's, trying to power the whatever with. He mentions it's that moment that he's taken away and brought to No Way Home. And then if you flash back to Spider-Man 2, in Spider-Man 2, nobody thought this was odd. And this is just a coincidence, I'm sure, but it's nevertheless a really cool theory to kind of put things together. If you recall, in Spider-Man 2, right when he's just about to kill Spider-Man is when Spider-Man says something that really makes Doc Ock rethink what he's doing. And he all of a sudden has a change of heart and starts to hold the machine up that's collapsing on him just long enough for Spider-Man to get away. And then, of course, he's taken down into the water, right? So the theory is he was taken away from that moment into No Way Home events, which obviously everything that plays out in No Way Home, go see it if you haven't seen it, And then he's put back into the moment. But in Spider-Man 2, obviously that's an instant. So that's actually what the change of heart for him was, rather than anything that Peter Parker actually says in Spider-Man 2. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
You guys are completely tracking, right?
Yeah. I like it.
Like it a lot. I shared. I think I shared that with. Did I share that with you, Mike?
No, if
Oh,
you did, I don't remember it.
Okay, I must have just shared it with Tyler then. That I was like, I'm buying this. This is the way I'm going to remember it from now on. I watched Spider-Man 2. I'm gonna think that's exactly what. Oh, he just went to No Way
No Way
Home.
Home.
He just came back. So I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So okay. Anyway, all right, you guys ready to get into wrapping this up?
Yep. Wrap it up.
All right, cool. All right, I'll start it with the actors and actresses in the last 7 were not a part of the colony. Rewind this video to see what that means. Oh, I mean, I butchered that a little bit. I should have said the actors and actresses of the last 7 were the only people that weren't a part of the colony. Pat?
Surviving re-entry to Earth's atmosphere is no big deal.
Right.
You have cue up the crickets because I'm probably going to deserve them here. Quantum Leap is worth your time travel. All right, one cricket would have been sufficient. Not a whole army of them.
It is enraging to have artists steal from other artists and not give them credit.
Yep.
Pat. Oh, Karen was chiming in there. We were on the Great Minds Think Alike. Karen says stealing is bad. Yeah. What you got, Pat?
Boy, I got nothing this week. I'm sorry. I apologize.
That's okay. You can't be perfect every week, Pat. We
Nah,
understand.
it's tough.
Mike?
Okay. So what I'm finding out here today is the ending of Lost. Wait. The ending of Lost is like the ending of the last 7. It's stupid.
I think 9 out of 10 viewers would agree with that.
Yeah. I mean, nothing short of. I mean, the only thing worse would be if they woke up. It's like, it was all a dream. You know, that's like the worst.
Yeah, and if so, my next one is if Hollywood has anything to say about it, we're going to destroy the planet and need somewhere else to find to live.
Right. Well, they are. I think we are.
Well, they. This is what I'm always confused about: how much they've got against Elon when he's trying to find someplace else to live.
He's the only one trying to get to Mars.
Yeah. They should be supporting each other. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll recap Mike's shirt. Did you wear that purposefully today?
No, I just grabbed it. Why?
It's the 20th was the 40th anniversary of Pyromania.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. First record I ever owned.
Good job, Mike.
Pyromania.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, he had it planned.
Rewind that. I had a plan.
Nice job playing that off.
I have my last one here. Watch The Colony. It's your choice. Any of them. Just pick one.
And apparently next time there's a Jack White cover out for any title, snatch it, pre-order it immediately.
Yeah.
Because the Jack White fans are
Nuts.
Fanatical. Yeah. So.
And wealthy, it sounds like.
Apparently, yeah.
You need to be. I've looked into his he has Third Man Records, his own label. and he does things like from the vault, and to be a vault member, I'm like, oh, I'll do that, because then you get, you know, first dibs at these limited albums. It's like $300 a year. So I'm not a member.
Yeah, they must have lots of cash, and that's why they're driving the price up of everything else, so nobody else can get them. Yeah, so
Yeah.
we've got a couple extra recap thoughts here for us. This is good. New York Mike says Kevin needs to improve on his streaming algorithms.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And sort of a recap here, but a good comment nonetheless. My beautiful wife says she agrees. The end of Lost made her mad, so she agreed with you that that the end of Lost and the last 7 are apparently bad. So,
Does that quickly back to Jack White? You said it. What's the name of his fan group?
Well, Third Man Records.
Does that have anything to do with the 3 eyes?
It might be. That's I never thought of that, but yeah, that's his label.
yeah. I totally forgot to follow up on that. I was wondering if anybody discovered what that was. So, okay. And we're talking about the 3-letter I's on there.
There it is.
3 eyes. Yeah, that. Yeah. All right. Anybody else got anything else?
Nope.
All right, here we go. With closing here, please like and comment on this video, as well as subscribe and hit that bell to get notifications. Please subscribe to Comics and Collectibles in the Crawl Space on Anchor by Spotify, or many other podcast providers. And please listen to the edited podcast of this live stream on Spotify that'll be posted later today or tomorrow. Please follow XcellarComics on Facebook, Instagram, and or Twitter, and follow Xcellar_comics on TikTok and whatnot. And watch our show on the Whatnot app on Friday at 10:30 Eastern Standard Time. You can bookmark that show right now. And again, I had some great value books this week just fly under the radar for people. And I had a big giveaway, and I don't know whether this is shameful or I should be proud of this, but I'm going to mention it because I can handle shame. We had a giveaway that one guy entered. So afterwards, he's like, "Wow, that's never happened to me before. I've never seen that anywhere." And I was like, "Yeah, me neither. I don't know."
Yeah, it's like, rub it in.
I don't know whether I should be embarrassed or proud. I don't know. But he won a great book.
How'd the spinner work on that?
It literally just like jiggled for a half a second and then just popped him up. It was so funny. It was hilarious. And then the guy was cool about it too. Then he actually bid on the next books I had. So, yeah. I love it. I mean, when that's the biggest thing about Whatnot. When you win a giveaway, it makes the shipping, the slashes the shipping. So stick around and see what you got. Unfortunately, though, this is the other funny, not funny part of it. He was outbid. Like, which I was conflicted of my happiness and satisfaction from that, so. All right. Also, check out what we have to offer on eBay at Xcellar_comics and XcellarComics.com. And then lastly, of course, watch our next live stream next Sunday at 1:30 p.m.-ish Eastern Standard Time. We've been getting pretty good at getting here at a pretty good time. So,
on time.
Yeah. So again, you guys, anything else?
Nope.
All right, that'll do it. We really appreciate everybody being here. This is a great show, in my opinion. Lots of fun. Definitely come back and check us out. And until then, don't forget that appreciating great art is awesome. And reading a great story is fun. So why not pick up a comic book and do both? Xcellar out.